I'm not even going to try to pronounce the title of this anime, because I would make a fool of myself, I would laugh at myself editing this video, so forth, so on, so I'm not even going to try. I will say this, however. In the video I made a couple weeks back of what I will watch for Winter of Anime 2016, I remember talking about the series because the overall premise of it, it was very interesting, and it definitely stood out amongst everything else from this season of anime when I was reading the summary. So of course I was waiting for this series to finally come out, get subbed for I could see it for myself, and see if it really could possibly be a dark horse of Winter of 2016 of anime. But here's the thing. I walked to this series, and I found out a couple of bits of information from fellow Chibits through Twitter, Facebook, and stuff, letting me know that this series is supposedly, it could be wrong, but supposedly this is some form of spin-off or a different connection to, like, the main series, and this, like, ain't the main series of whatever, I can't pronounce the title of the series. You get my point. So, apparently, this is like a spin-off or something, if my information is correct. And if so, that kind of explains why the story didn't really need to explain itself throughout this entire episode, because for one, walking this series, it was mainly more about action and battling, like, majority of the episode, and then a death as well, than actually setting up the characters, explaining a lot about the characters, along with a lot of their character motives. It was mainly just about, oh, here's Germany, Germany's, you know, fighting, you have it to East versus the West, which I like that. I like the concept. The concept is very nice. It definitely is completely different from the standard high school setting, middle school setting, whatever type of setting in Japan that we normally get. This setting with this series is completely different, in which I like a lot. It's not set in school. You have to where, you know, there's a war going on, so it does have something very different going for it. So I will give points for the series for that. But to be honest, it felt like it was just very meh to me. It was very, very meh. Now, of course, this is my opinion, my first impressions, but since this is most likely a spin-off series or like an attachment to the main series, I could probably understand why I'm not a big fan of it, and I don't know really how I should feel about this if I was like, let's say, a long-term fan, if I read the original source to, you know, probably seeing the original series. I don't know how, you know, fans of, you know, this series would feel about this anime. So, if you have been with this series for a long time, for instance, you've, well, looked at the original content, read it, or watched, or whatever, let me know, how was this episode in regards of the original source? Was it good? Did it explain things? Did it cut things? Because it did feel like the pacing in this first episode was relatively fast. Like, it was a very fast-paced show that felt like it was just trying to get to that action throughout majority of the episode. And, yes, I like my action, but I do love my explanations, exposition, you know, world building, stuff like that. That's the main things I love when it comes to anime, and this episode kind of lacked that to a very good extent. But yeah, first episode, very, very meh average. It's not bad, because everybody has different taste, of course. But for me, I don't know if I'm going to continue watching this or not. I mean, it has a really good original soundtrack. It does have a really cool color palette. Art animation was okay, but it was nothing outstanding to where I have to watch this week after week. So most likely, I might just say I might not review this anymore. It really depends. Let me know, Chibits, that continue on watching this series, if it is good, if it gets better. Let me know in the comments below, and also please clarify if this really is a spin-off or not, because if it isn't, that means that the pacing was just over the top, or just the lack of explanations, like, holy shit. But yeah, you all have a wonderful day or nights wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.